Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
What is going on, friends? Welcome in to another episode of The Good Brothers. I'm your host, Mike Mercado, as always joined with the good brother himself, Alex Mercado. Alex, what's going on, good brother?
How's it going, good brother? Chilling, killing.
Everything is everything, my friend, and it is going to be a really cool show because today we get to talk about one of our favorite subjects. We just found out a few hours ago that heading into the WWE Hall of Fame is one of your favorite guys, Bill Goldberg. In just 1 week, we get to see the 25th anniversary of Monday Night Raw, something we've been watching since we've been born. And, of course, that following Sunday, it is one of the coolest events for anybody who's watched wrestling since the 80s.
Second biggest pay-per-view
Exactly.
of the year.
Anybody who's watching since the 80s till now, it is the Royal Rumble. You and I are going to take a little bit of break of talking about movies. We're going to head into the pop culture world. Let's talk about WWE, WCW, WWF, everything that is wrestling and why we love it and why people may not love it as much today and everything in between there.
Let's start there, I guess. So we'll start off how we got into it. I think most kids in the 90s, our father was into it. Our grandfather. I remember our grandfather watching lucha wrestling when we were really young. I thought that was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Our dad watching Raw and WCW. We would flashback. That's probably the only thing we all watched together. And it goes even as far back as most kids. We had toys.
Right.
We had
Video
a Jake the
games.
Snake and a Hulk Hogan action figure from the 80s that we had as baby toys.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a 2-year-old. That's what we were playing with. We had all the rings. We had all the toys. Like most 90s kid, it took that pulp culture. We had the T-shirts. We had the sheets. Well, I have a Goldberg doll still that I won't get rid of.
I have a Diamond Dallas Page one.
We have the plushes. We had anything and everything. Now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking we used to have so much wrestling stuff and all the belts. We used to play it in the living room with Dad when we were young. Well, 1-on-3, all that fun stuff. And I think most kids can agree to that. And I think that's why I don't think there's a male or a female our age that doesn't have some sort of memory of Stone Cold Steve Austin, or I remember when The Rock did this, or Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho and Vince McMahon walk and Shane O'Mac.
Well, let's just before we dig even deeper, let's look at what it's kind of done in pop culture. Think about it. The biggest movie star in the world is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Conor McGregor is one of the biggest stars in all of sports, and what does he do when he walks into the octagon? Walks like Mr. McMahon.
Hulk Hogan, pop icon from the 80s. He was the 80s.
Roddy
Mr.
Piper
America.
in movies.
Roddy Piper. Everyone knows
Jesse
Roddy
Ventura
Piper.
was
the Macho Man.
Macho Man. Oh, yeah. Jesse Ventura was a governor. Kane is trying to be a mayor.
And then look how many times big celebrities have been on there. Arnold's really affiliated with it. Sylvester Stallone's
Floyd Mayweather was there.
Tyson.
Mike Tyson, Shaquille O'Neal.
Bob Barker. They did a whole year of celebrity things just because and look at all these athletes who get belts now. Look at every team. What was Chris Bryant holding at the Cubs parade in front of everyone?
What did he
a championship belt?
Yeah.
The championship belt. Because to kids our age and Chris Bryant's our age around there, that means something. Who doesn't want a belt? Just for our stupid football leagues, we're trying to get a belt.
Isn't that
just to have something to carry around? Because it means so much to have that stupid belt.
And here's the thing, this is the one thing when you're speaking about belts and when you're in fantasy leagues or anything like that, when you watch the first Rocky movie and they watch a lot of old boxing, look at how their championship belts look, right? Look at them how wrestling belts look, okay? Then look at how UFC belts look.
Who got what?
Who got what?
UFC is literally the same design as the World Heavyweight Championship.
Why is that?
Because they're cooler. They're big and obnoxious.
Everybody,
look at the
it's in our
boxing belts.
head.
It used to be like
Little
12
flimsy
little ones,
things, exactly.
which were cool, one big circle. But then you see this big gold belt,
and they're all that now.
But it's funny. Look at that in comparison. Look at the first WWE Heavyweight Championship with the little circle.
Yeah, it was
and
tiny.
even then, what did they end up no matter how good WWE got, the World Heavyweight Championship has stood the test of time because the belts now are big and obnoxious with a big WWE in the middle. They didn't go back to that little circle, and they've always been big. So I think that's kind of funny. No matter how bad or good anything was, the World Heavyweight Championship has stood the test of time. People want the big, obnoxious gold belt to throw over their shoulder, to lift in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gangster. It's the best thing ever. I can't wait to win that fantasy belt. It's going to be amazing.
We could keep going. Think about it. Talk about big gold belts. Arguably one of the best 30 for 30s, which is these critically acclaimed things on ESPN. Is about the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Do you see, Ric Flair knows everyone. Ric Flair's at every game. He was at the National Championship talking to Stephen A. Smith and Tim Tebow.
He's the biggest fair weather fan. I love the Nature Boy. But
who's going to call him out? Who's going to say
nobody's going to call out the
Nature
Conrad, Boy?
Right?
Yeah, nobody is.
Beside his future son-in-law.
His son-in-law.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Conrad.
He's
Thompson.
a Flair now, right?
Oh man, shout out to the Alabama Dream.
But look at the video games like 2K. They're sports games now. That's a sports company, and they come out with yearly installments. Back in the day, you would get like maybe 2 years in a row, and then you might get this, and then 2 years in a row, and this.
It wouldn't be like Madden. You would get like WCW Mayhem and WWF No Mercy.
Like they were
Revenge.
We had every single game ever, and only recently in a few years do we like maybe rent them instead.
Right.
I haven't played a wrestling game probably in 10 years. Like for the GameCube, I think the GameCube, maybe the Xbox.
Day of Reckoning.
I know you've rented one. You've rented a few and just played on
them. The last one I played was the one with Austin on the cover. So I think that was 15 or 14.
That was 14. No, 14 was Punk. So 15.
13 was Punk. 14,
something like that.
14.
It was a while ago. It was a while ago.
I think it was 15.
We've been a while already because we had Seth Rollins putting in. We had a bunch of them.
2018. That's crazy. But okay, so you know what? Let me ask you this. We grew up in the time of like the Attitude Era. We watch a lot of home videos and
the Monday Night War.
Yeah, we grew up during the Monday Night Wars. For any of you who aren't aware of that, who are sticking to this episode, if you aren't a wrestling fan, kind of just interested of growing up and kind of what it means to pop culture, this section of pop culture, the Monday Night Wars were simple. It was two different companies: WWF, WWE as you know it now, and WCW, which was owned by Turner Company, CNN,
Think
CBS,
Justice League and Avengers.
Yeah, Marvel,
like Warner
DC.
Brothers, DC, all that
so
stuff.
It's like that. And essentially, the Monday Night Wars were. WCW had Monday Night Nitro, WWE had Monday Night Raw. They would go against each other, and the ratings were what happened. All in all, at the end of the day, you obviously know who ended up winning. Vince McMahon ended up winning. So some people consider that like the best time period. But like our uncle, who we got those hand-me-downs of Jake the Snake and Hulk Hogan, shout out to Jeff. A lot of that was from the 80s. And a lot of people, my boss today, I was telling him about what we were doing, the pre-production for the show. And he mentioned, he's like, oh, yeah, like I remember the $1 Million Man. I remember Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man.
And I think we're, like, again, like just like Snake. Movies, we're kind of nerds about it. So we did know we appreciate all that. Like we had all the hand-me-down.
Yeah.
And we watched from like as infants, like 2 or 3 years old watching this. Like I love the $1 Million Man. He was one of my favorites. Jake the Snake because of the toy. And then you realize, like, oh, who's the guy with the snake on his pants? Like, that's kind of cool. Right. Like, his arms don't move because that's how old the toys were. Their arms didn't move. They were stuck in a singular position. Now you get wrestling toys that do everything.
10 pounds.
Like, these were huge 80s toys, people, that we're talking about. Yeah. Like, those were our first baby toys that they would let us. Like, there was a hole in Hulk Hogan's eye.
Because Jeff would.
Because Jeff's a little sociopath as a kid. How he has a wife is beyond me.
Which one do you think is more popular, though? Like, they're popular for two different reasons, but like, which one do you believe was more popular? Because like,
it's easy. It's WWF. Because here's the thing. No.
But like, at what time period?
And all of it. Because the only thing for WCW, I think WCW has a few things. Like, WCW has a handful of things you can count on. NWO merchandising, NWO. Because everyone knows who the NWO is. Like, that's his NWO, New World Order. Like, that's the NWO.
To this day, people use that logo as their fantasy teams.
I'm not going to give them the Too Sweet, the Wolf Pack, even though that's where I learned it was the Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
And then the touch, but like that was older. Like now that we know that we're older and we know about kayfabe, like we found out that was beyond that.
When they were all in WWE together.
You had Sting. Everyone knows who Sting is.
You had Diamond Dallas Page.
Everyone knows who DP is. Everyone knows who Goldberg. Goldberg was universal. Everyone knows who Goldberg. Yeah. People still knew who Goldberg is because of the gore and Jack Hammer. But like at the end of the day, like, do you really remember many episodes of Nitro? Because I remember a few, but I think I remember more moments. As when Raw, I will remember entire episodes because there was like I can make an entire list of what they had.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, you know what I think that is? It's because one is better than the other one, obviously.
And then we didn't appreciate the cruiserweights at that age either as much.
But that's what I'm saying is revisionist history shows, winner goes to spoil. Winner gets to decide history. So had WCW won it, maybe we'd be looking back and be like, oh, I remember that episode of Nitro.
I just don't think so because I think the best quote is like you hear, we listen to all the behind the scenes, and the one universal thing is like WCW was all moments. It was all like I feel like you can do WCW in one day. Like I can get what's the best way to watch WCWs on the network?
Well, like
do a documentary. Watch the Monday Night Wars because like that's you really don't need that many matches. Like, and I guarantee in that whole company there was probably only 50 good matches.
But I don't even think that many.
And I'm being very generous. Just in that 5-year span, let's say the 5 years, the 3-year big years. But WWE, like Mike, we can remember entire episodes. We can remember entire angles. Like we can remember, like I remember like watching WrestleMania 17, 18, 19, 20 on the black box.
Yeah.
Down in the little the little room in the basement.
Yeah.
And it was like 4 hours long. We got to stay up late. Like sometimes we'd watch it twice in a row, just let it play out. Like I remember the first TLCs and like I remember all that stuff. And I know that's a little beyond the Monday Night War, but I think DX was something bigger for us. The Rock, Stone Cold, like Vince McMahon, like Undertaker, Kane, the Groot. Like as lame as that is now, like all three of those guys are amazing.
It's the oldest cliche for wrestling fans, but I have the Groot song.
Shane O'Mac, the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys. Like Jesus Christ, like I can just keep going. Like they had all the Radical. They had Chris Jericho. They had Chris Benoit. They had Perry Saturn.
Bret Hart for a little while.
They had Dean Malenko. They had Kidman. Like
one of the greatest matches. A lot of people know it. WrestleMania 13, where Stone Cold, where he has the bloody face. That's in Chicago. That's against Bret Hart. WrestleMania 13. Like that's right here
at the Allstate. When it was named something else. I forgot what it was named.
Rosemont Theater.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that was true. That was pretty interesting.
Three WrestleManias.
So like we've already gone on a tangent, but we haven't even touched the surface.
Oh, we're going
Mankind,
to. I have
stuff. That's what I'm saying. But like at the end of the day, WCW, we can count on our hands what really, like, because like Raven was kind of cool. The Mask guys were kind of cool. Glacier was rememberable. Like when you really think about it, the test of time now, it's DDP. Half that is his yoga. Let's be honest.
It really is,
and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like DDP's the man. I fucking love DDP.
Yeah.
Goldberg, because he's Goldberg. He was undefeated. Like everyone knows Goldberg.
Yeah,
the NWO and Sting. Because those guys they're the people you've seen on ESPN. They're the people when they came back, they made headlines.
They were superstars.
Like they're superstars. And again, even like on that list, DDP's the only one that's like, well, it was more because of the yoga and how much he helps people. And again, kudos to that.
And let's be honest, NWO, sure, but a lot of those guys have also one thing in common. They got the WWE rub at one point or the other.
Well, like they all had their start. Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, Diesel,
as Kevin Nash,
Hulk Hogan. Like he was made there, and again, NWO. A lot of that is just the merchandise. Eric Bischoff might be the only other guy on the list I can think of that I'm like, you know what? Let's give him a little poke forward for the. Maybe some people might still not know. Well, you were a Sting mark. I was never a Sting mark, but I'm a Goldberg mark.
Well, you want to know what I think about the interesting thing about Sting is what makes him so legendary is the fact that he did never jump. Because I don't think he's
how that go for you. Yeah. I love it too because like I'm a I'll say like we haven't mentioned him. My favorite wrestler, and I don't know why. Like I think I picked the wrestlers my family hates because favorite wrestler guy was Goldberg.
Yeah.
Favorite old school wrestler guy was the Ultimate Warrior.
You're such a piece
like
of
it wasn't any of these great guys. And who do you think my favorite modern guy was? It was Triple H.
Yeah.
Like I love Triple H.
The Rock.
And I still do. And you love The Rock. And I love The Rock too. And everyone loves Stone Cold. Stone Cold's everyone's favorite. We're gonna take him off the list because he's everyone's favorite.
No, but The Rock was my favorite.
But Triple H is like my favorite dude. And like everyone hates him. I'm like Evolution was one of my favorite things ever. Yeah. Like everyone remembers like. And like, look at like Randy Orton, like he's at least pop culture, like RK out of nowhere something.
That's so.
So like he's in the pop, and like it's not like he'll ever be a movie star, but he's a meme, so he'll live forever. John Cena, modern day movie star. You know, I think he's gonna hit that level. Maybe not as close to The Rock, but I think he's gonna have a very different career.
CM Punk got famous for getting his ass kicked.
CM Punk's weird, man. Because
what's that?
I don't know. Like, I feel like our culture's kind of a bunch of assholes. So, like, the fact that he's straight edge is kind of people maybe like, and the fact that he lost in UFC, like, he'd have to come back to wrestling for us to get that, like, next star level. But, like, I don't think he ever really hit the level of, like, these other guys where, like, you see him and you're like, oh, that's it. Like, I think, like, again, maybe some people would remember him. But at that point, if you weren't in wrestling, he didn't bring you back.
Sure.
Daniel Bryan probably tried to. I was gonna say he got the closest.
Did he transcend wrestling?
He got a little. He brought me back in.
But they're on
because like I'll tell you the story. Like of all of us, I think I took the longest break. Yeah. We all took a little break, but I think I took the longest one I went to college because we had no cable for a while, so I couldn't watch Raw. And then this is when it was before the network, like right before the network really hit, so you started to pay for pay-per-views. Yeah. So you're watching online.
WrestleMania 30 was the first pay-per-view we watched on the network.
Was that it? Because I remember we all used yours, and I watched it in my dorm. That's like, I think I had watched the Monday Night Raws the months before, the Yes Movement. Yeah. So like I got in right at Team Hell No. I didn't get on Punk. I had to go back and watch all of Punk.
Punk was really good.
Because I think that's when you kind of came back, was Punk and all his stuff. I always loved John Cena. Yeah. So the WrestleMania 30 when Bryan won, that's what got me. And like I've watched since then. Like I've watched consistently enough because people always say like, "How do you watch that?" So I'm like, "Well, we got to realize like I don't watch 3 hours really. Like I like the acrobats of it. Like I'm a cheerleader. Like all we do is acrobats and perform. I like watching these guys do it."
So let's get into that like a bigger subject about it. What do you think it was that makes that made wrestling so popular, but also it's to the point where like it is very popular, especially in social media now, where like you're able to find your niche. Like, what was it like? Is the idea of suspending your belief, the suspension of disbelief to watch these people? Because in a real fight, that you don't fight like that. Like, fights don't happen like this. But like to let yourself go the same way you do for a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie or something like that. Like, what was it that made it so popular?
I think it was the cultural references, because like I think to nowadays, like, you can throw up a suck it. You can do the beers like, hey, like at a party, like how many times you gone to a party and like guys that you don't even know will drop a Stone Cold like, yo, give me 2 beers.
Yeah,
like,
right,
I'm gonna crack them all. Someone give me the theme song, like, or the Triple H water spit, or like the people's eyebrow, like I think there was just such more part of culture then. You saw them everywhere.
But wow,
it's just different times too.
Is it the chicken and the egg?
You know what it is? No, I think it's also social media. Like there was nowhere to get all this information. Like if you had to go get a dirt sheet, you had to go buy a dirt sheet or like go really search for it. Like you didn't get it on Twitter at the click of a button. You didn't get these wrestlers' real lives. Like we didn't know what The Rock was doing, and now we know everything The Rock is doing.
Literally everything.
Stone Cold tells us about his day, and now we're like, oh, he's just a redneck. Like,
Shout out.
I mean, he's kind of his character, but like he's super redneck. All he does is hunt. Oh, Brock Lesnar's a terrible person. Like he's a monster. He terrifies me in real life. Like, the only person we don't know is The Undertaker, what he does in real life.
It's crazy that.
And, like, we kind of got a little glimpse of, like, he's kind of just a biker dude. And, like, that's awesome.
Yeah, which is great. Like,
it's exactly what I want him to be.
He's exactly what you want The Undertaker to be.
But, like, really think about it. He's the only person that you don't know their whole life.
No,
it's helped people like maybe The Miz. It's helped a lot. Like, John Cena has probably helped a lot. Like, some of these guys only could thrive in this era.
So is it more popular now, do you think, or do you think it's just more accessible now?
It's more accessible now. I think that's the right word. It's like it's more accessible. Like you're not judging off TV ratings anymore. You're judging off of likes, retweets, views, advertising.
Yeah,
like you're not really looking like replays. Like you have a whole network, like,
downloads, all
and like
that.
It's already more leading toward like they knew it was gonna take a few years to get to the profit, but it's getting there where it's like okay, no, they're gonna get there,
and they're filming
soon.
On Facebook.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and they're only like it's like people say like they're not going anywhere. People
no.
Like WWE's always going to be something because it's making money. Like maybe it is more for kids nowadays because like maybe kids are watching because we're old.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know. Maybe a 5-year-old's out there watching. Like I've seen a few John Cena T-shirts.
And to be honest with you,
I've seen. You know what? I'll give big props to the New Day because I think they. You know what? The New Day. They've come up. Thank God for Hot Topic for some of these Bullet Club and New Day.
Oh my God.
Because I think everyone knows the New Day dance.
But like New Day's.
So like I'll give New Day it. Like for some reason like they.
But here's the
thing
too. There's also this idea of like when we were growing up, a lot of these wrestlers only believed that you had to keep kayfabe.
They are kayfabe. They're.
But like here's the thing though. It's like Ric Flair. Like if you were a wrestler, you went out and you drank. You partied hard. But like nowadays, Xavier Wood has a Twitch. And they're on YouTube, and like AJ Styles, AJ Styles is their champion right now.
He's a big partier,
and he's into video games.
Yeah, like they do tournaments, and like WWE loves this because
they tore Nintendo.
That's the modern era.
Yeah,
that's what kids watch. Like I literally coach these girls at the gym, and I'll see them. Like I let them have their phones if they're waiting their turn, and I'm like, "What are you watching?" Like YouTube. I'm like, "What are you watching?" YouTube. He's like, "Oh, I'm like. I forget
that's Carmelo.
That's their TV.
My godson.
They don't watch TV.
They don't watch TV.
Like South Park made fun of it, but it's so true.
They just go down the rabbit hole. But how many times have you gone the rabbit hole where you're gonna like, I only want to watch this 8-minute video and then 45 8-minute videos later?
That's every single night, and it's mostly wrestling stuff. I'm like, yo, the dirt sheet says they should fire who? Like, let me just
go down that.
And it's nonsense information, but I really want to know.
It's all absolute nonsense. What are speaking of like we were able to grow up during these times. So like you mentioned them, the Hardy Boys, Edge Christian, the Dudley Boys. They were known for the TLC matches. Yeah, tables, ladders, and chairs. Yeah. What do you think? What is your favorite match type growing up? Like to me, my favorite type of match has always been Hell in a Cell. There was always that moment of like that big cage that surrounded the entire area of the arena, kind of like a culmination of like two guys into your cage. Like that was always my favorite match.
That's close. I like Elimination Chamber. Like,
good one.
Like No Shame. I really love the Elimination Chamber. But my favorite's ladders.
Yeah,
because I just match. I think if you look back at history, some of the best matches are the ladder matches, like the climb, like the drama, like it's just so like your heart's beating. Like I loved WrestleMania 31 where Daniel Bryan won the Intercontinental one. To open the show with Dean Ambrose and all of them. Like the Money in the Banks have all been pretty damn great. Like AJ Styles with Shinsuke this year, like. So I think ladder matches for me are and Royal Rumbles. I love that.
Royal Rumbles are a great one. Royal Rumbles are a great one.
I just don't like table matches. They don't do a lot because they're dumb. because like you break tables, you do it every day at this point. Why would you make a match of it?
Yeah,
I hate all the gimmicks like for the pay-per-views. Cage matches are fine. I think it's more the writing. I don't think like the match type's fine. I think it's more like the story going into it. Like if it's like, okay, we know how this cage match is gonna end. Like we totally know how it's gonna end. I don't like those. Hell in the Cells are always fun because they're Hell in the Cells. Like even Shane and Kevin Owens, which wasn't like amazing, was amazing.
It was pretty fun. Yeah, it was really great.
I had a blast.
Do you now? Okay, let's put it to you this way. Do you enjoy the fact that we live in an age where, you know, kayfabe is dead in the sense that like we saw the whole thing with Chris Jericho, like that broke kind of mainstream.
Oh, Chris Jericho, there's another one.
Like,
I guess.
Let's put this though.
Fozzy.
It's really good. Their new song is really good. If he was doing kayfabe, but like we all knew Chris Jericho as soon as the match was over was going to have Kenny Omega on the show. So like,
that was amazing.
It was a great podcast, by the way. But like,
because again, like it goes like that's why him and Vince are boys because they're smart. They know like this is the modern era.
Yeah.
Kayfabe's dead. I might as well go into it.
Yeah.
Because guess what? That's going to get a gajillion listens, a gajillion downloads.
And when he goes back to the WWE, that one moment,
he's going back to the anniversary. They announced it.
Jericho.
Oh, you didn't see because you don't watch Raw. Like luckily I got home on time to watch the end. They had added a few divas.
I saw that
and
Steve Austin's goal.
Jericho.
Good.
Yeah, Jericho. He announced them. Like and then there was a few other ones. Bischoff.
Yeah, I saw Bischoff.
Like Troy Rano's. Like there's a bunch like this because I forget they're doing 2 locations.
Well, they're doing the Manhattan Center where they did the first bunch of episodes there, and
it's gonna be interesting.
Are they gonna be at Barclays?
Yeah,
Barclays.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be fun. Like something crazy is happening. Like obviously, I think Miz wins the Intercontinental.
Maybe.
And then is there another match? I feel like there's something else going on, but I don't know. Something crazy is gonna happen with Taker and John Cena.
It's the go home. It's the go home edition.
Something's gonna go crazy.
It's the go edition.
It's go home for Royal Rumble.
Home edition for one of the greatest pay-per-view, the Royal Rumbles.
I might have to record this and just not. You guys can't talk.
Yeah, I know. Do you? Let me ask you this: Do you ever think wrestling will ever get not as just as accessible, but as mainstream popular? Where like, you know, let's be honest, they sell out 74,000 people stadiums.
Let's also be honest. People may not like it as much anymore, and maybe that's just our age, but they're on the Today Show more than ever.
Is it like
they're on
the
ESPN
Simpsons?
More than ever?
Is it just like The Simpsons where it's just been on forever where you're just like,
like maybe you don't appreciate it anymore, but then you got to give it its dues where you're like, no, it's not that bad actually. Like maybe I won't watch it consistently, but like it was because like I think a lot of people like as much people may not watch it all the time. I think a lot of people watch WrestleMania. Like a lot of people do. Like maybe not as like much. A lot of people pay
the $9.99 for the network because it's cheap.
And they're smart. They give it away the free month. And they're like, maybe I'll keep it for another month. Or like for Rumble, like a lot of people join in now just to get because they'll watch like it's like a season almost. Like now we're in like the mid-season. Like we've just finished the mid-season finale, and now we're going. Oh man, like here comes the season finale.
That's the point everybody loves.
And it's not Walking Dead where it sucks, you know.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started. That's coming out soon. Coming back.
It's gonna suck. I can't wait to watch.
Yeah, definitely. And like, how cool has it been? Do you think that they worked out this deal with ESPN, and now we're getting these Hall of Fame announcements? I think that's really pushed forward, like the social media.
Yeah, I mean, like they've all been on it, Miz and Charlotte, and like Roman Reigns,
like Goldberg,
Seth Rollins.
Like the fact that like every year we always hear about breaking news, because they've told them like, hey, this is
like last year, Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle was the last year.
Like both are legit because like I mean, a lot of these guys are former athletes, and props to Kurt Angle. I do love Kurt Angle too. You know,
great one. He's an Olympic gold medalist.
He is, and that's what I'm saying. From Pittsburgh, like
let me ask you
Pittsburgh, like diehard fans everywhere.
I want to rant about this for just 1 second. Okay, let me rant about this for 1 second. So for all you guys who listen to us, you know I do a lot of interviews for the UFC and for Bellator MMA. Love what I do there. I love most of the competitors there. They've been very gracious and stuff. Did you see the drama that happened between the light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier and the Young Bucks? Like they were just going back and forth, and essentially they squashed the beef. And it was really cool the way they apologized. Like Daniel Cormier's like, look, man, I'm on fight week. You know, I'm defending my title. A lot of people are coming at me. I didn't mean to, do this and so forth. That they ended up squashing everything. But I love how so many people bash wrestling, but so many people love being associated with it because they're so big.
Everyone.
But like, here's the thing, like, I really like listening to The Fighter and the Kid with Brian Callen and Brendan Schaub. Brendan Schaub used to go on the Joe Rogan podcast, and they used to make fun of wrestling all the time. But now you have Brendan Schaub hanging out with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Ric Flair and saying wrestling's cool.
Who's going to say no to The Rock?
And then,
The Rock, right?
And then here's Joe Rogan saying, like, now backtracking because he's he's got friends that
He's
like
got
wrestling.
deals.
So it's like it's funny. We're
Ronda.
like, and like that's the thing, right? Like
Brock.
nobody.
I mean, you share Brock. Like you have. That's like two parents. Like no matter how much you hate each other,
Yeah.
you have a baby together.
But this is,
and you're probably gonna have a few more babies together.
But
so
I figured out why.
Good analogy, Alex.
But like I figured out why you're an idiot. I figured out why the MMA world doesn't like wrestling initially. Because they feel like people compare them to all the time because there's so much crossover.
Well,
and there is a lot of crossover.
Well, you got to think a lot of rules and regulations. They are under mixed martial arts, even though it's it's a show. Technically,
but here's the thing, though: it's like we know that, and like in 2018 we know that, but there's still such a segment of the world that doesn't, especially in both echo chambers, and people will fight with each other. And it's like, dude, I could watch UFC. What is it? I could watch UFC.
I don't watch it.
I think it's UFC 210, and no, probably I think it's UFC 212. But and I can then watch the Royal Rumble. It's like they're both literally this Saturday. I'm going to watch the biggest pay-per-view in UFC history, and
oh really?
Well, it's the heavyweight championship and the light heavyweight championship are on the line at the same night in Boston. It's going to be good fights.
They need to get a network.
Yeah, they do.
I like
need a deal
Fighter.
too. There's a good chance that they may be on the same channel as WWE if Fox gets both deals. But it's just, at least it was just a little rant I want to get into. I'm like, dudes, get over it. Like, in a world where we watch so much garbage, like, you do better, be better. Like, they're different. They're completely different. Who was your favorite wrestler? You said Triple H, but like, who were your favorite wrestlers?
I mean, let's do it by era. It's like 80s Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man, probably my top two. 90s, like in that era, like I'd probably go HBK. I love Razor Ramon, and like not Scott Hall really because I didn't love WCW and Goldberg, but Razor Ramon was like my early 90s guy, like the ladder matches, the toothpick. Like I love Razor Ramon. He's one of my favorite impersonations.
Say hello to the bad guy.
Like come on, like he's the great. Like his Hall of Fame speech, like it's so good. He's amazing. Goldberg, and then I'd go Triple H. And probably my favorite modern guy is Cena. Like I don't know why, I just love John Cena. Like he's so cool. Like I love John Cena so much. Like before, when I would go out and compete for nationals both years, we were trying to go for 6. I would throw up the Cena every time, and like my friends,
You're
like all my college roommates would get it so much. Like I'm not even kidding. Like we were such nerds that like we would like to get me pumped up. Like he'd hold his arm out and we'd Ultimate Warrior each other. Like he'd have like dun dun dun. We loved it. We Too Sweet all the time. We would wrestle in the gym.
Too Sweet
because we had all the gymnastics equipment. Yeah. We would have matches. We would suplex. Like, let me suplex you. Like, thinking back to it, we were big nerds, and it was every boy on that team. Like, every male on that team would stunner each other, RKO each other, suplex each other, like F5s, everything. Like,
literally
people's
do what
elbows.
WWE asked you not to do.
But like I think it's funny, like you like just reminded me. I'm like, man, we used to be a bunch of idiots because like everyone grew up with wrestling.
Everybody did.
Everyone.
For me, my favorites growing up, it was Sting. I love Bret Hart. I love.
You like everyone I don't like. Like basically the enemy of everyone I just announced. Pick their enemy. I'm sure he likes Roddy Piper and.
I personally love the Legion of Doom.
Oh, that's man, you suck. That also tag team. I'll give it to Legion of Doom and like the Dudleys.
I love.
I didn't name any tag teams.
Edge and Christian. CM
Punk.
I
like the Dudleys.
Yeah, I loved CM Punk. I thought he was really cool, especially being from Chicago.
CM Punk. Yeah, he dope.
John Cena was always really cool.
Paul Heyman, best guy ever.
Love Paul Heyman. Love Ric Flair.
Jim Ross.
Yeah,
everyone knows JR. So that's another one like that's called culture.
Because again,
good old JR, the king.
Yeah. Good God, they killed him. They killed him.
Booker T somehow is in the main thing
because of radio and Taz.
Spinaroonie.
Who would have thought Taz would be?
But like Booker T, like Spinaroonie alone, like he'll pop up on ESPN every now and then too, randomly.
Shout out to Batista. Guardians of the Galaxy.
We really didn't say Batista, did we?
Yeah,
I guess because we didn't want to talk about anything too new. But I guess if we drop Cena, we should drop Batista.
I mean, they're all in
movies. And we dropped Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing, we didn't want to get on the show and talk about all modern, because that's like a whole episode we can do.
It is.
We're trying to stay behind 2008, like unless it's pop culturally.
But there's so much on television, so we also understand that like you're not watching every episode of Monday Night Raw, just like
because we're not.
We're not. Like
I might watch the highlights. I might I can literally watch the highlights in 10 minutes.
But we also have the nostalgia of thinking about the past, so like it's easier for us to reminisce and just talk about like our favorites. And
I think that's why the network's good, even if it's just for a year subscription, because like you can have a good year on that, like going back watching some old stuff. Like maybe you don't have to subscribe to all the time. I get, there's so many things to subscribe to.
Yeah.
But, like, I think it's a cool gift. I think it is, like, for a nerd wrestling fan, or, like, maybe treat yourself, like, let me buy the year. And it's not going to be that expensive. You buy the whole year and then, like, enjoy it. Or buy 6 months or buy 3 months. Like, try it.
But do you ever feel like you have to justify watching wrestling? Like, maybe at any point, do you think you ever had to justify watching it?
No. Because, again, everyone watches what they want to watch. Like, no one's ever going to have the perfect opinion. Like, you like hockey. I don't like hockey. Sure. You like UFC. I don't like UFC. I like college football. You don't love college football.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always going to be like, I don't think either of us really love college basketball. Like, but I know people who love college basketball.
Right. But I love NBA and I love
like,
NFL.
I can watch it. I can watch a cheer comp.
Right.
You can listen to something I can't listen to. Like, this, it's just opinion. So, no, like, enough. And like I said, it's big enough for I don't have to defend it. Like, they do a good job defending it themselves. They're everywhere. I don't need to defend them. Like, they're every toy aisle I go down, they're there. Yeah, still, right. Think about that. Like, every toy aisle, they're still there. Walgreens, over-the-counter toys, they're there, always right in your face.
Their T-shirts always selling on at Hot Topic and Pro Wrestling Tees. Let me ask you this. It's a two-part question. What's more important, a story or the match? And then, if you have to show somebody a match for the first time, do you show them a match that's like a technical masterpiece or something that's heavy in drama?
You gotta find both. Like, you gotta find something with both. The problem is I can't even think of the top of my head because I think you have a lot of good matches. Problem is you need to know a lot about the background. Like, anything with Shawn Michaels Undertaker, you would need to watch a year of that to kind of really get the full grasp. Or a Rock and Hogan. You know what I mean? I'm trying to really think in my head, like, a match you can show someone and it's like with no context, and it's still like, damn, I got it.
I think I know the one.
It's got to be Stone Cold,
It's
right?
Stone Cold Rock at WrestleMania 17.
I was even going to say Stone Cold Bret Hart, maybe.
Stone Cold Bret Hart at WrestleMania
Shawn
13.
Michaels, even at WrestleMania with Tyson.
Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25.
The problem is, like, you need to know a little something going into that.
Do you? Or you just need to watch the match?
I think all Undertaker's greatest things are the ones you need to know something going into. I think CM Punk Cena.
Chicago.
You can watch
really
that one and you get it. Because, like, they do a great job telling the story. That one you can do, because that one didn't even have a huge setup. That had, like, a few weeks.
That was just a few weeks.
Like, not as much as we relieved, but it was
a
like,
pipe bomb.
The problem is the pipe bomb, and then we got the signing. Yeah. And both were amazing. Like, you will apologize.
Yeah,
and, like, Cena's like, you became the New York Yankees. He punches him, he just dips, and, like, if you don't get it, you're fired. Yeah, it was so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's very few, though.
But I think Austin Rock 17 is probably, like, the...
Like, you don't show a Macho Man and Steamboat.
You could.
No, because that's too technical, I think. Like, that doesn't tell the story.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't show that to a non-wrestler and be like, yo, look how cool this is. TLC. Show him a TLC.
Well, would you show him?
Because TLC is just cool to watch.
Would you show him? Yeah, I know. Would you show him Hogan Rock at WrestleMania 18, though? Because it's not a good match, but, like, the atmosphere is so crazy.
Now I think about it, because they're both big enough celebrities.
Yeah.
Where you're like, holy shit, look at the young Rock. And, like, oh, damn, is that Hulk Hogan?
That's Hogan, yeah.
I mean, nowadays, that dude did a porn, but, like, that's still, like, he said the N-word. That's not cool.
It wasn't.
And it's amazing that, hey, I'll call it right now. Him and or The Rock are going to be at Raw. Him and or both of them.
Wow.
I think Rock has enough time right now, and they have dropped Hulk Hogan's name so much right now. It's kind of ridiculous how much they've been dropping his name.
I don't know.
And, like, on network specials, and, like, maybe that's just dumb, like, they not mark out a little bit. But they have brought up Hulk Hogan a lot lately.
I don't know, dude. Maybe.
So I think one or both of them show up. Because, again, Rock's not filming anything. He's doing press. One's in L.A. One, I mean, like, it's in 2 locations. And if you're bringing up Hulk Hogan again, like, maybe you save it for WrestleMania. But
I guess
maybe you don't get.
Never.
Because think about it. Maybe you don't get Rock at WrestleMania.
Maybe.
Hey, you do need kind of 2 main events, don't you? You need 2 main events.
Well, April he'll be
because he could be
touring.
Filming.
No,
he'll be touring because he has Rampage and Skyscraper.
Yeah.
So I don't see him showing up for WrestleMania again. This might be your chance.
Maybe.
And like I said, 2 locations.
And it's New York, so it's
maybe
easy.
Hulk Hogan stays for WrestleMania. Maybe that's the one.
Saturday Night Live this week?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's interesting. For me, my favorite, the match that I agree with you. I think. I definitely think now that I started thinking about it, like I definitely think The Rock might be there because it's New York.
Yeah,
and you might be able to get him out.
And like I said, like you follow the man, his life is everywhere. He's not really doing anything super pressing. Like Jumanji's touring is dying because it's making money, but like it's but that's what I'm saying. But like his press is done. Like he's just enjoying it. Like he's doing some shows, but like realistically, He's got time to do one appearance on it. Like I said, and he probably won't be at WrestleMania. He's not going to be at Rumble. This might be like he's only going to get busy as the next month comes. Sure. This might be his only like real month off before we really start getting. He's got to start filming something again. Black Adam, we don't know when that's going to really get going. I heard it's getting going soon.
We'll see.
So
we'll see because theoretically it's supposed to be in Suicide Squad.
What is he? He made his movies already, but what is he filming?
He's got to be filming something already.
He's got that other Disney movie eventually. Like, there's some movies he has to do.
And that's the voiceover work.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. But, like, definitely, I think that's a really interesting mindset that you have to have when you're trying to introduce somebody into, like, some type of wrestling because you don't want to bore them. Because, like, I think it's easy in sports. Like, you show them an easy game, but it's, like, wrestling's so it's so crucial to find that balance to both. Yeah. But, like, then you can have the random stuff, like the technical masterpiece of, like, a Benoit versus a Bret Hart or a drama-filled one like Hogan versus
to be fair, you wouldn't show them ECW either.
No?
Look at stupid Bills fans.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's another wrestling thing. Like, we was jumping through tables.
That's so true.
On fire.
What do you have a favorite match that comes to mind anytime you ever think of wrestling?
Favorite match? I don't remember WrestleMania, but it was Triple H versus Undertaker, Shawn Michaels guest referee. I forget which WrestleMania.
That's WrestleMania at Miami.
That's my favorite. When he super kicks him and then pedigrees, I'm like, they did it. It's over. And he kicks out. I'm like, my heart just was like, oh, I can't handle that kind of emotion at that age. And they all walk out together, and you're like, I don't know what just happened, but like, I'm a man now, I think.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
I think I'm a grown man.
I think I've grown up.
I'm pretty sure I've grown.
Gone through past
so
it.
I got to say, like, that one sticks to my head. And like,
do you have a favorite match you've actually been
to?
And
a Daniel Bryan Triple H opening WrestleMania 30. That's
a great one.
Because guess what? That's like the first real pay-per-view match I got to watch as like a new fan, and like it brought me right back. I'm like, man, Daniel Bryan's great. Like, oh my god, like I saw him on Raw, but like he's even better here. Like, and Triple H had not wrestled, so like for me it was like, oh man. So those
might be the best. That might be the best storyline to like introduce somebody into. It's a great one.
That was really good. Like,
it's so much drama around
Sting
there.
Was a good one to coming back in with the Authority.
Yeah,
what was yours like matches?
So before I do that, do you have a favorite one that you saw live that you've ever seen live?
No, there's only been the one Raw. I mean, I got to see Cena Cesaro, which is one of the best Monday Night Raw matches ever.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
That makes the list every time for top 10. So that's kind of cool. That was like a secret little gem they threw in there. But nothing like we got to see Brock Lesnar throw a car.
Yeah, that was really
what's more infamous for him hitting a fan.
That's what, like I've actually gone to like
fine. You went to the good ones. I went to it was fine. Monday Night Raw's never bad in Chicago.
Right.
So
I've been to so many shows. My favorite match, like just off the top of my head, always goes to Austin Rock WrestleMania 17.
I was going to say Punk and Cena because that one's pretty great.
I was going to say the one that I've been to live is CM Punk versus John Cena. But like I've also been to like NXT takeovers for like us Uber nerds into wrestling. Like those were some shows. great shows into their own. But yeah, definitely like. And you know what's funny is like it's such a thing in its time, but the promo video of Limp Bizkit's "My Way,"
oh my god,
it's like stuck in my head.
We were gonna play it, but we don't have the rights.
Yeah, we don't have the rights to it, but I still might play it anyway. Alex, do you have any final thoughts about just everything that we've kind of been talking about? We have a really cool game that I kind of want to get into. I want to test your knowledge, but got anything?
No, I mean we touched a lot about it. Like I said, like I don't think this would be the last one. I think we have a lot to talk about.
It was a good icebreaker.
Like I think maybe probably expect another one of these for WrestleMania.
For all you don't know,
so that's in a few months. Like I think if you got this far, you know what WrestleMania is. Yeah. It's gonna be pretty cool. So I think that will be the next time we might do that. Like the next day we might review
unless something big happens.
The NXT. So I think I can honestly say that'll probably be it.
Yeah, it's really cool. And like I really enjoyed this. But we're gonna do next. We're gonna play a quick game. We're gonna see how well you can guess some of these. How well do you think you knew the internet back in the day?
I know everything and everything.
You know nothing. Alex Mercado. We'll be right back here on The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333. Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves.
All right, Alex. So, because I'm a great producer and I'm the only one that does work in this damn production here on Mercado Airwaves.
Start doing more. I know. I agree.
Everybody
you
needs
should
to
tell her.
step up. Yeah.
Don't tell her.
You tell her that. Yeah, go ahead. I went to Pro Wrestling Illustrated Awards. For all you know who don't know, this is a kayfabe. This isn't Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, I know.
This is a kayfabe wrestling thing. So essentially, they produce a magazine in which we live in a world where wrestling is real. They know it's fake, but they present it as if we lived in a world where this was real. So what I did is I printed out who they had as their wrestler of the year. And there's 4 options. There's the third runner-up, the second runner-up, the runner-up, and the winner.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through just a couple, and we're going to see if you could guess who won in these certain years in this category.
And I think it also illustrates like their popularity takes into account their win-loss
storylines.
Like I said, like we're not really judging their talent as much as like it's part of it, I guess. Because but like there's been talentless people that made it to the top.
But I think there's something you're gonna be interested, like who. All
right, let's see.
Who are the guys ready? All right, so the first one, let's do 1997.
Oh, that's old.
All right, these are the guys who were nominated. Okay, I
was like 5, by the way.
Yeah, you were 5. I was 7.
Okay, just so everyone knows.
All right, The Undertaker, Diamond Dallas Page, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Lex Luger.
Austin.
Who won Wrestler of the Year?
Austin.
No.
Really?
No, it wasn't.
Wait,
Austin.
it's a Taker?
Nope.
It's not. It's Diamond Dallas Page?
Nope.
Really, Lex Luger?
In 1997, Lex Luger won PWI's Wrestler of the Year.
I am too much of a mark, dude. I never would have picked Lex Luger. He sucks. Yeah. I was never that bad of a fan, people. Triple H can wrestle at least.
Okay, let's go. Wow. 1994.
Oh, God. Okay. So you're getting me on these 90 ones.
Yeah, 1994, you were 2 years old.
I was 2, yeah. I got this.
Razor Ramon. Bret Hart. Ric Flair. Hulk Hogan.
92.
1994. You were 2 years old. 1994. I'll say it again. 94. Razor
94.
Ramon. Bret Hart.
Hey, you confused me with
Ric Flair.
I got it.
Hulk Hogan in 1994.
Okay. It's not Hogan. I don't think it's Flair. Who are the other 2?
Bret Hart and Razor Ramon.
Bret Hart.
You're wrong.
Razor?
You're wrong.
Wow, is it Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan won it for the third
94?
time. In 1994, won it for the
really?
third
It's not
time.
even the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Okay, how about this
These ones are killing me, dude. I was a baby.
1993, a year before. So look at the difference, though, between 93 and 94. Okay, ready? Bret Hart, Yokozuna, Shawn Michaels, Big Van Vader.
I do love Big Van Vader.
Who won PWI's Wrestler of the Year in 1993?
Who were the other ones besides Vader? Bret Hart,
Shawn Michaels, Yokozuna.
Yokozuna?
No.
Bret Hart?
No.
Really, Shawn Michaels?
No.
Wait.
In 1993,
I said that first.
Oh, did you?
I was the first thing I said, and you laughed.
Oh, yes. Okay, so you got a point on that
one.
Yeah. Okay, cool. My bad.
I love Vader.
Okay, yeah, Vader won. I thought you were just saying that you love Vader.
No, that's why I picked him.
Okay. We'll do one more early one. We'll do one more early one.
Okay.
This is before you were born. This is the year I was born. Okay.
Terrible year.
This is a stacked year. Lex Luger, Hulk Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, Sting, 1990.
It's gotta be Warrior.
No.
Who is it?
Sting in 1990.
Sting? I hate Sting. Why do you like Sting so much? Like, he's fine.
I think he was the John Cena of my childhood.
But he
and
really,
the Crow.
But like, if you really look back at it, he really wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, he was only cool for like a month.
Yeah,
and then he got kind of lame. He wore red.
Let's see if you know this one. Okay, I think this one is an interesting one. In 1998, who won Wrestler of the Year from PWI? Diamond Dallas Page, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, or Goldberg? In 1998.
Goldberg.
No.
Fuck this game.
Stone Cold Steve Austin won PWI.
I said that, didn't I? They're both bald.
You definitely didn't say that.
Same ball, same thing.
All right, I'm gonna give you this one. Okay, I'm gonna look
if we
for
were
one
doing
movie.
That's why we do a movie show. Because if we were doing movie quotes, I get them 100% right.
I'm gonna look for one more. Okay, if you get this one,
$100.
I will get. Yeah, no, we don't have that much money in the budget. You'll win the game.
Okay,
ready?
Gotcha. All or nothing.
2002.
Okay.
Triple H, RVD, Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker.
Brock Lesnar.
Congratulations,
that was
you won.
His big year.
Yeah, that was his big year.
Okay, I'm not gonna take that.
You want to go one more? All right, we'll go one more.
Give me a harder one.
Okay.
Like, that one's easy. That was He literally wrestled like 2 years before he like left and came back.
Okay,
so it was really only the time.
Let me see if I could get one.
He literally went he won every match that year. I think he didn't lose until Paul Heyman screwed him, and I think that was the next year. He was the youngest champion. He won it the fastest. They pushed him like crazy. They have never stopped pushing him.
Yeah.
And good for them. Brock Lesnar, boom.
So here we go. 2000.
Okay, 2000. I was like,
Yeah. In 2000.
Okay, video game, go.
Okay.
I got this one.
PWI's Wrestler of the Year. Kurt Angle, Booker T, The Rock, Triple H.
The Rock.
The Rock won. Congratulations. All right. Alex, let's wrap up. Any last words for the fine folks?
No, y'all. Just same old same. When in doubt, mark it up.
Thank you, everybody, for making us a part of your day. Don't forget, you can follow us everywhere on the network. Subscribe to us on YouTube. YouTube.com/Mike Mercado 2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. Rate, review, like, and share us, guys. That's iTunes.com/Mercado Airwaves. Every one of our shows, like Pizza Night with Nick and Mike, The Good Brothers, all of our interview with UFC stars and legends are brought to you by our amazing producers over at Patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. There you can find a tier just for you if you want to see any episode ad-free or before anybody else, or if you would like to advertise with us to such a diverse group of audience that we have. Check us out at Patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. For all you Android users, we have you covered. Visit us at SoundCloud.com/Mercado Airwaves. And of course, if you would like to see us behind the scenes, you can follow me at Instagram, Instagram.com/Mike Mercado 2333. For the good brother himself, Alex Mercado, I'm Mike Mercado. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of The Good Brothers here on Mercado Airwaves.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves.
You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex.
Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves.